Hey, what's up guys, ChillaDeX here, welcome back to more Steins linear bounded Phenogram. I almost said Fate Stay Not Real to Nua. I don't know why. Well, probably because I've been playing it lately. But yeah, we're gonna start Karisu's chapter, Vermillion Soteria. It's gonna be interesting seeing things from Karisu's point of view, or seeing a scenario from Karisu's point of view. And other than that, I don't got much to say, so let's jump in. Vermillion Soteria. My Daru's took a turn, so I wonder what Kreese is gonna be about. Kreese's voice is very quiet. I don't know why. Is this... Ooh, this might be like if she was captured, maybe. Are you even what? My head throbs slightly. I'm tempted to make my voice higher while playing as Karisu, but I could imagine my voice getting torn up if I try and do that too much, so I'm probably not gonna do it. I look to my left and to my right, but I can't see a thing. I'll try and make it softer, if anything, but that's probably the best I can do. Just a dark space. Pitch black. There's no sound but the ticking of a clock. Am I in a sensory deprivation tank? No. I don't remember entering one. And if I had, I wouldn't be able to see I wouldn't be able to hear anything. Alright, so I have a general idea of what that might be. A tank that blocks out all light and sound, typically used for training or experimentation. Liquid highly... okay. Pretty much what I figured. And I can still hear the eerie sound of a clock. Tick. Tock. I try to calm myself down and search my memories for answers. But my head is still unclear. Everything is foggy. To start with... she doesn't even know who she is? That's not good. I ask myself. But I can't remember anything. The sound of the clock is so strangely unsettling. I want to ignore it, but the harder I try, the worse it gets. It's scrambling my thoughts. Just... why? Wait, she doesn't know who she is, but she knows who Okabe is? I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah, probably not. Okabe. Who is that? Oh, where? Yeah, I suppose I do. Now, who are you? Crazy voice in the darkness lady? It's... us? Okay. A female figure appeared before my eyes. Even with my uncertain memories, I was convinced the figure standing before me was me. I mean, yeah, I suppose. I suppose I do. At that moment, a torrent of images rushed into my brain. 11 years ago, on my birthday, when I upset my dad and shattered our relationship. My mama taking me with her as she moved to America. working brutally hard to graduate college early and working as a researcher at Okay, in 0 it says Chondria. Here it says Condoria. I'm gonna say Chondria, though. At Victor Chondria University's Neuroscience Institute. This year, when Papa, real name Shuichi Makise, publicly known as Dr. Nakabachi, sent me a letter saying he will hold a press conference to commemorate the completion of his time machine. Wasn't it only to give his theory? Maybe it's different here, or maybe it's translation difference. Temporarily returning to Japan as a sort of reverse exchange student at a Japanese high school. And then... Oh dear. No, it would seem that we don't. Us. Okay. So this is... Krisu after dying? I guess?
違う。大ビルの公園で変な白衣の人に会って。違う。その白衣の人とはパパに殺される前にも会ってって。
My memories become convoluted. Yeah. This is weird. If she's dead, why isn't she dead? Or, I don't even know how to put it. Multiple intersecting memories tangle up inside my head.
ATF の公園で私にちょっかいをかけてきた岡部といろいろあって仲良くなって。
Yeah. But you also remember dying. Oh, her memories are just fucked up due to the time leaping, I think. That's right. I remember. Okabe Rintaro. It all started when he began claiming that I was a ghost and that I should be dead already. Yeah, that'd be a bit jarring. And then at the lecture, he disputed the theory that time machines cannot be made with the technology available to us in this timeline. Which caught my interest, so I went to visit his lab. And they really were making a time machine. Out of a microwave, yes.
So, 人間が直接過去に行けるわけじゃなかったけど、過去にメールを送ることができた。D メール。
That's right. Then we repeated the D-mail experiment to verify whether we could send a message to the past to change it. Then, over the course of our experiments, Okabe and I...
だいぶ思い出せたよね。なら、今は何をやっていたか思い出せる。
Good question. What did cause us to end up in this, like, mindscape, I guess? I guess these are probably, like, the cogs of Krisu's mind? Or the gears? What was I doing just now? Actually, that leads me back to my original questions. Just what is this place? And why am I here? Thinking rationally, the most reasonable explanation is that this is a dream, and I'm currently asleep. As far as I can remember, I was staying up all night and upgrading the phone wave. I was trying to make a more advanced time machine that could not only email to the past, but people's memories as well. But now that I think of it, I don't remember falling asleep. If this is a daydream, it's unusual for it to have taken over my senses to this extent. I'm concerned that she may have died. Well, not quite died, but maybe passed out?
その認識
I don't
は
know.
正解とも言えるし、正解ではないとも言えるわ。
Okay, you know, give us some hints here. I guess that was a hint. But give us more, like, exact hints, I don't know.
正解ではない。間違っているとも言えるではないの。あなたらしいわね。言葉の正確な定義にこだわろうとする。
Yeah, well, she's a very logical person.
交わす言葉が正確に定義されないなら、その言葉で伝達される事象にも齟齬が生じるわ。当然でしょう。ええ、それでいいのよ。あなたはあなたらしくあればいい。これからあなたが体験する一つの物語でも。
Even in the coming story, you'll soon experience. Ah, nice fourth wall breaking. Mindscape Krisu.
物語
What is she saying? Well, you know, she's crazy. I mean, it's you, so I guess that make you crazy. But most dreams tend to be an incoherent mishmash of ideas, which makes the relatively logical through line of this conversation all the more strange. Even if my brain is producing this dialogue by association with external stimuli, there are still many odd factors.
そこまで深く気にする必要はないわよ。ただ、あるがままを受容すればいい。そしてあなたは、あなたのままでいればいい。
Okay.
その物語は、ここから離れたら、もう覚えていることもできない蜃気楼か。さもなければ、幻のようなものかもしれない。
Okay. Like, brain, mind, daydream version of us, she kinda freaking us out. Plus, why is your ghost, like, phasing in and out of you? I don't even know what's going on anymore.
もしかしたら、存在さえしなかったかもしれない、一つの可能性や幻想かもしれない。
Unexplored possibility.
それでも、あなたがここに来てしまった以上、それを目の当たりにする権利と義務がある。
What do you mean?
8月13日。2010年8月13日14時6分。この物語は、そこから始まり。
Okay.
同じ日の17時34分に収束する。
Very short time span. But she is working on the time loop machine, so it could just be a technicality that it's the same day, only like 3.5 hours later. Could be a very technicality. My consciousness jolts in reaction to the date, the time. A time knot in my memory. But for some reason, deep inside my heart, I felt shaken. Oh wait, that's the day my Yuri dies for the first time. My consciousness fades. I think. Or was it the 12th? I think it might have been the 12th. The sound of the clock won't leave my ears.
時の円環と歯車は、無限の螺旋を描いて、またそこに戻る。永遠の連鎖が描く奇跡を、私は 知っているはず。だから確認しなさい。そして救うのよ。ここでもあなた自身を。彼。ちょっと待って、そんな一方的に。
Yeah, I honestly don't know what to say here. It's very, very trippy and concerning with everything that she's saying. My consciousness rapidly clouds. Consciousness rapidly clouds. The sound of the clock gets louder, as if to consume my thoughts. My awareness flakes away as the bell rings. It's like I'm falling asleep. Or rather waking from a dream. And then, I...
完成。
Wait, so she was working the entire time, but... Okay, that's trippy. Connecting the last two cables, I declared my success to the lab mems. And especially Okabe. Oh, especially Okabe, huh? I have successfully upgraded the phone wave, creating what may be the world's first time machine capable of sending not only information through time, but humans themselves, in memory, data memory form. I improved the email functionality, the technology that lets us send information to the past via email, to allow us to compress the human consciousness to 36 bytes and send it to the past. Of course, the sender and the receiver must be the same person, and we can only send the consciousness, or to be more specific, the memories. Nonetheless, this machine represents humanity's first steps into the realm of time travel.
私たちひょっとするととんでもないものを作っちゃったかもしれない。
Oh yeah, it's definitely extraordinary. That's right. We've created a power that can transcend the law of causality and change the world. Everyone here understood the weight of what we'd done. I wouldn't speak for Mayuri. And so, though we were in the presence of this tremendous invention, none of us expressed even a hint of excitement. I've done something terrible. My chest is filled with dread. I followed my personal impulses to test my theory and bring my idea into being. Propelled by LabMem's shared passion, I pressed onward with my creation. But now that it's completed, I'm completely overwhelmed. Initially, I had a feeling that I shouldn't create a time machine. Oh yeah, you definitely... Well... I guess if you didn't... Okabe would have never been able to actually put things right, and... Sending out no, it was good. The very existence of a time machine defies common sense. It holds the power to rewrite history, to change the past, present, and future. Our world is governed by the rule of cause and effect, but a time machine completely breaks the rule. In the event of a failure, one can travel back in time to remove the cause of said failure, thus ensuring that it never happens. A disruption would be the same. Travel to the past, divert or eliminate the interruption, and you can complete what you're working on undistracted. This is akin to holding the power of a god in your hands, militarily and politically at least. Scientifically, its value is immeasurable. Also, they have a divergence meter on this version of the phone wave, it looks like. In the top right of the microwave part. which is precisely why this technology must not be allowed to exist. The power of a time machine would be too much for humanity to handle in a more civilized future, let alone now. The rockets and nuclear weapons of the 20th century were the same way. The small number of people who controlled these technologies created an imbalance of power on the world stage. Even in the 21st century, the scars of that imbalance still remain. Scars that restrict scientists such as myself to this day. But now, I've created this. I've created the time machine. For no reason other than I wanted to see if I could. I mean, that's a pretty good reason. I understood how dangerous it could be, and even feared it. I rejected the very idea that it could exist. But even then, I was driven by my curiosity about the unknown, and my desire as a researcher to push the bounds of possibility. The same motivators that led me here, to the Future Gadget Laboratory in the first place. When I saw the experience Okabe and the others were conducting, that they have weird translations, were conducting. When I saw them send mail to the past with phone wave, curiosity consumed me. I mean, if I saw people sending mails to the past, and their memories, well, I guess the memories wouldn't be terribly altered. No, or at all, depending. I guess it'd be interesting. And the result was this upgraded phone wave. Hashida. Mayuri. And even the leader of the Future Gadget Laboratory, the self-proclaimed and notorious mad scientist Hoen Kiyoma, Okabe. None of them could even bring themselves to speak. I looked from face to face, seeing uncertainty in each one. But eventually, unsurprisingly, the first to speak was Okabe.
とりあえず正式名称を決めようではないか。
God damn it. All things considered, the way he directs everyone else around him is very leader-like. That said, given that his first reaction is for us to come up with a name, tells me that he's not taking this seriously enough. No, I think he's just trying to break the awkward silence. I'll just put that out there, Kurisu. Eventually, we decided that the upgraded phone wave would be given the name of the Time Loop Machine. Though that was also subject to change. Yeah, I suppose. Okabe came up with a far more Chinibyo name during the process, but ultimately Mayuri chose the simple name that I proposed. Yeah, I guess it's probably the best. Then, at Okabe's urging, I proceeded to explain how the Time Loop Machine functions.
一言で言うと、これは記憶をデータ化してリング特異点を通過させ過去へ飛ばす装置。
The receiver will then acquire the memories of the future self. The Time Loop Machine's biggest innovation, as stated previously, is the ability to send the used memories into the past. To transcend time, something must pass through a ring singularity. Simply put, the area near a black hole. If anything physical attempted this, it would be crushed by the black hole's supergravity. Suffice it to say, physical objects won't be traveling through time anytime soon. Yeah, we know what happens if we try that. However, we were able to circumvent this issue by converting the user's memory into data, and sending that data through the ring singularity. And that was only made possible by the existence of CERN's LHC. Hashida's hacking gave us the ability to manipulate the LHC, which is able to create mini black holes. In turn, this allowed us to utilize the infinite compression of the supergravity created by the black holes to adequately compress the memory data. With this extraordinary power, we were able to complete the time loop machine. I finished talking about the time loop machine's functions and dangers, then take a breath. It seems that my Yuri has zoned out due to the complexity of the topic, but Okabe and Hashida seem to have understood sufficiently. Then, my lengthy explanation complete, silence descends upon the laboratory once again. I need to check what the divergence is right now, because that was pretty much the exact same as in the first game when we were playing Okabe. Next time I start up the game, I'll probably look, because I'm curious, because this might be the same, or pretty close to the same timeline. Like, maybe not the exact same, but like, not too far off divergence-wise. Okabe, Hashida, and I study each other's facial expressions. It's clear that we're all trying to delay an important decision. How to make use of our time machine's godlike power. Once again, Okabe finally broke the long silence. He cleared his throat, took a breath, and spoke.
どうする?
どうするって?
Yeah, Okabe, I think everyone was already kinda considering that.
タイムリープマシンの扱いについてだ。
Real good question there. Kurisu's like, should we use it? I don't know. Okabe surveys the room as he speaks. His gaze settles on me. He probably wants me to state my opinion. Sitting in silence in the middle of a debate, as you might expect, is a faux pause. It is a researcher's duty to offer and discuss their opinion, whatever it may be. But I had my reasons for not speaking up. I was conflicted. Obviously, this isn't something we can freely use. As I said earlier, to monopolize and abuse an ability so godlike would produce the same sort of problems that nukes do. However, it would be a lie to say that I didn't want to experiment. I wanted nothing more than to test my creation out and see if it worked. I mean, that's understandable. You made a damn time machine. This is absolutely my ego speaking. My self-righteous, inconsiderate desires as a scientist. This is like Werner von Braun, who, in pursuing his desire to go to the moon, developed rockets for the military. Only to see his V2 rockets turn London into a sea of flame. Yeah. My internal sense of what's right, my desires as a researcher were in conflict with one another. Which is why, when Okabe's gaze fell upon me, I felt there was nothing I could say. Why is this man only serious in times like this? I grit my teeth and inaudibly curse into my breath. This man, Okabe Rintaro, is a surprisingly serious person. Yeah, when he wants to be. Even if his Shinibyo, even if his Shinibyo comes out in full force and he's worried or backed into a corner. When I talk about my problems with my father, or if the other lab members are having a hard time, he treats us all with care and respect. Yeah, he's really not a bad guy. And I can tell from the look on his face that he's absolutely serious right now. The one staring at me isn't Hoen Kyoma, but Okabe Rintaro.
私たちの手に負える代物じゃないのは確かよ。一番無難なのは研究機関に譲渡して 国家プロジェクト扱いにしてもらうことね。
I mean, that would be the smart thing, yeah. Even though you'd probably be hunted down and killed before you got anywhere. I muttered my response, knowing full well that I hadn't quite convinced myself. I want to experiment. Yeah. However, there's no way we can handle something like a time machine. Given the risk involved, I don't just want to use it on a whim.
実感が湧かないな。
I don't blame you, Daru.
マユシーも湧かないよ。
We know, Mayuri. We know.
いや、マユシは何も手伝ってないからっしょ。
Yeah, we'll go with that.
あ、そうだったね。
Yep, yeah, we'll go with it just because she didn't work on it. Yep. It didn't seem like Hashida and Mayuri understood the enormity of the situation at first. But from the way they were acting, I can tell that they aren't completely blind to it. Which means that the most important opinion is Okabe's.
岡部の意見はちなみに法王院じゃなくて岡部の意見ね。
Yeah, that's a good distinction to get sorted out. I emphasize this last point. Given that Okabe often retreats into the Chinibyo act when he's stressed, there's a possibility he would have answered to me as Hoen Kyoma. Still, I think the chances of that would be fairly slim, even if I hadn't nipped it in the bud. As I mentioned earlier, Okabe is fairly serious deep down. In a sense, the reason I emphasized my desire to hear Okabe's opinion was to show my faith in him. As long as it is Okabe Rintaro who speaks and not Hoen Kyoma, I will abide by his decision. That was my intent. It's actually kind of crazy how, like, seeing this from her POV, how much she actually respects Okabe. Like, you don't really expect that. But she really does have a lot of respect for him, it seems. Even though she's a lot smarter than he is. Which is interesting to see, I guess. Even if he decided to perform an experiment, I would be willing to be our test subject. That's because that's what you're wanting.
実験してみたい気持ちはある。
There we go. Yeah. Okabe said after a moment of silence. I swallowed my breath. If that's what you've decided. My resolve strengthened. Those words were on the tip of my tongue. But before I could speak them into being, Okabe continued his thought and put an abrupt stop to my momentum.
だが、実際にタイムリープを行うには問題が多すぎる。
His assertions were correct. The time loop machine alone had its share of problems. And that's before we get to time paradoxes. For one thing, we can't conduct an experiment with an animal or a stand-in. We need a human test subject. I thought of experimenting on myself, but I have to admit I was afraid. Although I was prepared to offer myself up as a test subject in my excitement, Okabe's words put a stop to that. He asked the other lab members if they were willing to volunteer. Unfortunately, by halting my momentum, Okabe may have put a stop to our experimentation. There was no way Hashida or Mayuri would volunteer. And I think Okabe might have known that. The fact that he spoke at that exact moment may have been a calculated move to kill my momentum. He usually acts like he's incapable of such calculations, but I understand that his intelligence skyrockets in critical situations like this. Or rather, I've come to understand that. Or rather, I've come to understand that.
ねえね
Yeah, I mean, again, Krisu is a lot smarter than Okabe, but he's not exactly dumb either. After some half-hearted exchanges, the conversation once again came to a stalemate. Mayuri, who had been silently watching this whole time, finally spoke up.
え。マユシーはね、難しいことはよくわかんないけど、
Oh, lay it on us, girl.
例えばね、マユシーの買ってきたバナナをタイムリープさせるのはどうかな。
I know. Well, no. Well, untenable. I could tell that Mayuri had put some thought into the idea. Her carefree attitude helped soothe my frayed nerves. Was that line in the original? The Mayuri saying to use the banana? I think it might have been.
マユリったらバナナには人間みたいに脳はないでしょ。
Oh, so why is Krisu really quiet? Her voice is so much quieter than everyone else. That's right. As I mentioned earlier, the time loop machine needs a human test subject. That was the source of all my fears. And one of the major hurdles to overcome for this time machine.
あ、そっか。それじゃあダメだね。
Mayuri, I love you. Goddamn. And Mayuri didn't even try to defend her idea after my explanation. She may have been aware that her theory was misguided in the first place. Yeah, Mayuri's good. She's not dumb enough to. I really don't think she was dumb enough to actually think a banana would work. I think she really was just trying to cheer everybody up, like get the mood a little less serious. So does that mean she thought it necessary to speak up to ease the tension in the air? Maybe she didn't think it so much as feel it. I fully understand, in the 2 weeks that we've spent together, that she's no fool, knowing that perhaps my suppositions aren't too off base. Knowing that perhaps my suppositions aren't too off base. I guys, slow down when I talk. I have a bad habit of, like, talking, like, what area of the country is known for, like, talking fast? I don't even know. But I have a bad habit of it. And her gambit seemed to work. The tension filling the lab had now transformed to something different.
実験はしないのか。
Oh, you're probably right, Okabe. Okabe said as if guided by the change in the atmosphere.
タイムリープマシンはしかるべき研究機関に託そう。そして世間に公表する。
Oh, but that doesn't quite go to plan, does it? Neither Hashida nor I had any objection to this decision. As long as we entrusted the decision to him, that was a sure outcome. A little while later, I was finally able to calm myself down. Yeah, creating a time machine would probably get you pretty pumped up. Humanity's first time traveler. The temptation to use the time machine to claim that title was nearly overwhelming, to be honest. It would both prove my proposed theory and symbolize humanity's first step into a previously unknown dimension. I imagine the first people on the moon felt much the same way. But at the same time, there's still fear inside of me. Both the fear of the unknown, worse yet, the fears passed down to me by my father. My father, Shuichi Makise, is a time machine researcher. But because time travel theory is not yet sufficiently tested, the field is publicly regarded as a little more than crazy pseudoscience. My father, Papa, lost everything when people labeled him a junk scientist. He was so attached to the idea of the time machine that he lost his job as a researcher, separated from me and my mama, and was even abandoned by his best friend, who was funding his research. But research often pushes into the realms outside of common knowledge. The now commonly accepted Big Bang Theory, and the theory that black holes are collapsed stars were both laughed at the time of their publication. Theories that we now consider essential to our understanding of the universe were thought to be junk science. That is why, as a scientist, it is inappropriate to reject things without a second thought, even if they are seen as crazy. All things deserve proper verification and confirmation. While I told myself this, I still found it hard to accept. In my mind, ideas that are too bizarre, too crazy, or too new are best avoided. To be blunt, Big Bang and black hole theories were the exception to the rule. Most of the junk theories we see in this world end up being just that. Junk. The time machine theory is certainly among their ranks. There's very little evidence to back up the time travel claims, and mountains of reasons to reject them. In essence, it's the junkiest of all junk. Yeah, I guess I suppose it is. So as a scientist, simply the fact that we've made a time machine is incredibly stressful. Yeah, I doubt anyone would believe you. I don't want to end up like Papa. That fear strikes me directly in the heart. That's not my only fear related to him. If my Papa, who sacrificed everything in his life to research time machines, if he found out that someone else had successfully created a time machine, I'm afraid of how he'd feel. It's true that Papa and I were estranged because I rejected his time machine theory when I was younger. But at the same time, that theory motivated me. If the time machine actually works, regardless of whether or not his specific theory is correct, nobody could call him a junk scientist for studying time travel anymore. He might even be able to receive funding from a major company again. It's hard to stand still thinking of that. I could fulfill several personal goals by testing the time machine. Fulfill several personal goals. There we go. Setting my curiosity about the unknown. Fulfilling my desires as a scientist. Enabling my Papa to be accepted by the scientific community. Enabling him to accept me. But at the end of the day, all of them only serve to feed my ego. There's no reason for us to wield the powers of a god. Okabe's decision to call off the experiment helped me realize this. I breathe a sigh of relief from the bottom of my heart. It took some time for me to accept it, but I can't help but think how extraordinary Okabe is. He helped me realize something I'd nearly lost sight of. He may be an annoying, crazy Chinibyo, but still. Okay, and with that, I'm going to end the first session of Vermillion. What was it? I don't remember. Actually, you know, I'll see when I save right here. Vermillion Soteria. There we go. But, yeah, next time, I guess we'll see where Kurisu's going. Because I'm honestly very, very concerned for her right now. But, yeah, I will catch you guys later.